Game one.
Is there a delay on that? Oh, yeah.
We have Mitoe as the Germans, and Kaiserklein also as the Germans. The German
Oh,
mirror.
God. It's a classic between these two, isn't it? They both enjoy the mirrors. Germany, both very good civ for each of them, and I think this series there's actually a lot on the line for both of them. So I think Kaiser he lost last week against Samwise in a very good series, but technically he can still qualify. If he defeats Mitoe here, then he's still got a good shot. So there's a lot riding on this series.
So in this map, we see these ever-important water buffalo are all spawning in the river or above the river. And we see Mitoe going for a contest here of this water buffalo. I guess he's giving up. So, WickedCossack, tell me, how does a German mirror work? What is the goal for a German player in the mirror?
Oh dear God! Somehow to reach age 3 without dying to a doppelsoul timing, I suppose. I mean, you can. There's quite a few ways you can do it, and you know both these guys are much better at the German mirror than I am. So it'll be good education for all of us. We can look at their strategies, but I mean, I'm kind of expecting to see both of them sort of maybe start with a stable and then perhaps add in a barracks is quite often what you see. Maybe train like 5 dops, try and catch the other person out a little bit, and you know take a good engagement, and then hit up to age 3 with a bit of an advantage. So that's quite often what you see. But there's sort of little nuanced builds you can do, maybe cut a few dots or just skip them completely. So we'll sort of have to wait and find out what these two guys choose to do.
Yeah, I know that in today's meta, the defensive play is very popular, and people try and make as few units as possible and get as big of a tech advantage as possible. But there's always that chance that we could see the more aggressive play. Do you expect that from either of these players?
Yeah, I've always felt Kaiser and even Mitoe to some extent, they both actually don't mind staying in age 2 just a little bit and trying to take an advantage actually before going up to age 3. There are players that like to kind of rush age 3 a little bit and try and find that window where they actually sneak up and kind of the other player doesn't quite realize and then they engage too late. But Kaiser especially always feel like they stay in age 2 just long enough to try and get that little bit of damage done and then age up with a lead. Oh, and does Mitoe take that?
He does. It's a cheeky little melee in too.
It's always nice to get your own age 1 treasure. So I'll be happy with that. But not the biggest, 20 XP, 20 coin. It's a new treasure for the definitive edition.
So let's see. It looks like both players are going with the 17 villager age up, which is pretty normal, I think. Kaiser seems to have a little bit more food. Manages to steal one of Mitoe's yaks.
Yeah, so that's the classic German start, right? You both start off with a market, both get hunting dogs. Now you're gonna move everyone across the wood. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people across the wood. Try and build a trading post. Interesting enough, Mitoe's explorer is actually quite far away from getting a trading post. So he's obviously identified a treasure that he really wants here. So we got, presumably that's the 100 food there. So quite a high value treasure. But probably he's gonna kind of probably miss a pass from this because it's going to take him quite a way to get down to the TP. And you can actually see that, he already knows that. So he's actually chewing up place of mines because he knows there's no point just banking 200 wood and leaving it unused. So he's going to get a faster place of mines, but he's probably going to lose a little bit of XP for that. And his explorer is kind of low as well. And hang on, if Kaiser sees that Mitoe's explorer is low, which he's going to do here, Kaiser's presumably going to finish building his TP. Let's see if he tries to stop Mitoe. I don't know what the timings are going to be on this, because obviously Kaiser's got to build his own TP, right? So that's going to take 20, 25 seconds. But he also knows Mitoe's got like 20 seconds to cross the map.
But do you think he's going to have noticed that and will have thought of it?
Yeah, he usually does, but then I'm also thinking due to the age up times, he's going to get 100 extra HP. So maybe it's something that's actually not gonna be worthwhile.
Yeah,
but, no, these players you do.
It looks like he is going for it, though.
Well, I mean,
you might as well.
Yeah, he's...
Take the free damage on the Explorer. Explorer hit points are fairly important. In
hang on. He's got a tiger. He's got a tiger, so he definitely can. Even.
There's no way he can finish building this. He's either going to have to send a Vil to help or give it up. Yeah, there goes the tiger. Very good pickup by Kaiser to know he can use this tiger to deny the TP. He was just camping it there this whole time. So is Mitoe going to notice that he's going to lose the Explorer? I guess he's...
I mean, yeah, he notices, but he's just sort of like committing. He figures I may as well get half the TP built. There's no way Kaiser can siege it down.
What's he going to finish it with? Is he going to even notice? Because he has not... Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He's sending this Vil down to finish it. It won't take the Vil too long with just 480 or so hit points to finish.
Yeah. I mean, so Mitoe's going to be quite a bit behind in XP. It's probably going to cost him 1 or 2 passes, trying to get down there to begin with. So all right, so we got a different opening. Yeah, I see you were highlighting that. We got a stable out from Mitoe, whereas Kaiserklein starting off with the in-base barracks, and I assume we got some doppels potentially being built out of that. Mitoe's struggling to get out the fifth Ulan. And Kaiser, it looks like he's going to go for the full batch as well.
And this 80 coin will help. It's almost all the coin of Adopt. Alright, let's see what these players' second cards are. So we see Mitoe sending Silversmith.
Oh, no way.
Very meta in German mirrors now to get that extra little bit of gold out of your gold mines, as well as mining it faster. Silversmith now grants 20% yield, which is pretty good. Or is he going to lose that Vil? Not quite.
Yeah. I mean, you say it's meta, but I'll be honest, the only time I've ever seen anyone do it was Mitoe, and that was last week. so I'm not, I'm not sold on it, but I love seeing new builds, and I'm really interested to see how it does here. So obviously, as you said, yeah, increases the yield on coin mines.
And we see the 700 wood, something a little more standard from Kaiser. Going with this more maybe H2 heavy play. Is that what the wood shipment means?
I kind of expect him to just add in a stable, and he's going to see if he can get Mitoe's TP down, probably with the early dops. Nice that he's leaving 2 dops at home. He knows that mine at the top that he's gathering from is really exposed. He can't leave that kind of unprotected as we're about to see if Mitoe come in there and there's no 2 doppels there. I mean, he loses 3 settler wagons and it's over. However, quick reactions though. Could have been a little bit sketchy, and he might even lose 1. No, not at all.
Gonna get the cheeky little damage on the stable. He's probably gonna lose this TP. Oh, is he getting caught? He's sacrificing an Ulan. Probably an okay trade. Gonna get what damage that he can. Oh no!
Oh no!
Look at that damage! Oh my gosh! Oh no!
It's constantly. It's just playing with fire. Like you can't even take a swing. Like a single swing is just so much.
We have the 20...
Oh wow, and he's going Silversmith as well, and amalgamation as well. So
oh my gosh, both players being pretty greedy, I would say, but I guess they know that each other is gonna each be playing that way, and they think it's safe, and it seems like they're both correct. The TP is going down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Kaiser sneaked in this one just purely because he knows maybe he'll be up a shipment against Mitoe. But yeah, I guess the 700 coins doesn't really make sense for either of them since they've kind of both got the coins age. I mean, Mitoe's now got the issue of is how does he deal with these dops, because he doesn't have his own dops. Okay, so he can call Minutemen, but I mean, six dops are not easy to take down. So yeah, he's going to lose the house.
I like how he's baiting the dops to stop sieging by teasing him with the Ulans. Oh no! Pay attention! Yeah. Mitoe, sad that he forgot steel traps.
Classic. I mean, yeah, very very standard for Mitoe. Got to commentate on your own play here. But I mean, it's one of those situations where I don't there's too many dops, so I don't think even if you call Minutemen, I mean he's TC focusing the dops, so they're running out now. And actually, yeah, he does go for the Minutemen call. He doesn't want to lose too many buildings at this point.
Do you think that's worth it to save the market and get him out of his base?
Well, I guess it probably wouldn't just be the market, right? It'd be another house. So Kaiser's going to go for it. Good little snipe again on the dots. He's got him down to 3 now, and that's maybe enough to push him back even further.
Yeah, Kaiserklein following him up. So the advantage he got was he killed the TP, he killed the house, and he forced minutes out of Mitoe. He also did some good damage to the HP of many of these Ulans. So who do you think is in the lead?
Honestly,
now,
that's
with Mitoe up.
Kaiser. I think that's a huge advantage. He got that basically an extra shipment in, right? He got 700 wood. He got amalgamation. I didn't quite see if Mitoe had that. I'm guessing he probably doesn't. I don't really think he could have spared the wood, if I'm honest. The fact that he didn't even get steel traps suggests that he wouldn't have got amalgamation either. So yeah, you can see he's getting steel traps now. But so yeah, basically Kaiser's up on coin gathering, and I think he's just got more units. The only thing he's slightly behind on is this age 3. But I mean, does that really matter when it takes 25 seconds to cross the map? Not really.
Well, we know that Mitoe will try to press this advantage, because if he identifies himself as down, he'll know that this is his chance to even the position. So let's see what he's trying to do. He's shipping war wagons. He knows he might be able to get some free shots with them, but maybe he's too afraid to challenge this German base with the threats of minutes and whatever this first shipment might be. As you said, it does take a lot of time to walk across the map.
Yeah. Plus, do you ever want to have all your Ulans fighting around like a barracks?
No,
right,
you do
in
not.
The German mirror. There wasn't going to be any dops there, but you cannot know for sure, and so
it's one of the fastest ways to lose a game for sure.
Exactly. So just don't take the risk. So yeah, Kaiser's going to try maybe a couple raids here. There looks to possibly be the odd exposed villager towards the top of Mitoe's base. Is there one on that top coin mine, and maybe also one on the hunt as well? So when Kaiser finally gets, oh wow, settler wagon.
Gathering that 1.5 coin per second. That's a pretty big pickup if Kaiser found it.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a villager here anyway. So there we go, nice little pickup. Something that Mitoe won't want to see. And at the same time, he's crossing the map as well because he knows, of course, Mitoe's going to respond to this. His whole army might be out of position. And we got Black Riders as well, which I guess you can do if you've got amalgamation. And
Silversmith.
What's the coin card called? Silversmith. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to remember that because obviously people are gonna start sending it.
Much more sendable. And importantly, Mitoe doesn't have very safe food on the map right now. Picking up another couple villagers. Mitoe just spending all this cav to catch these 2 Ulans.
It's the classic 1-2 punch, right? I'll pull all your army over here, and then of course go in from the other direction while you're distracted. And yeah, he doesn't even pick from Mitoe's side. He doesn't even catch those 2 Ulans. Oh yeah, really nice by Klein here. The dots aren't super useful due to the mobility in a big fight, but at defending raids, my goodness.
Will Mitoe take this trade? It might be worth it.
No,
but the villagers.
No,
he's taking it.
I don't think you do. Do you?
Oh yeah, he cleans them up quickly. What's he doing?
What?
Oh my gosh. Why do you think Mitoe ran there? What was he afraid of? More dops?
Yeah, possibly. I'm surprised on the number of levels. Actually, those Ulans cleaned up those dops much better than I thought they would.
It was excellent.
So, good decision there by Mitoe.
He managed to get about 5 Ulans attacking a single dop at a time.
I guess he's just scared of these Black Riders coming in, which we see them now. And these war wagons, they're enough to scare Kaiser back a little bit. So that's nice. But
the range cav advantage heavily in Kaiser's favor, though. Still has that TP.
Yeah, trying to.
What is Mitoe going to ship next to maybe deal with the Black Riders? Could you see a Jaeger shipment coming? Does he even have it in his deck? He does.
He does. I honestly, in this situation, it feels like you just need a kind of a big a big raid or something.
And that's exactly what he's going
so
for.
yeah, both players are gonna. Yeah. Yeah, so this will be nice for
Look at the
Mitoe. At the same
AFK.
time, though, well, that's because, of course, Kaiser's doing the same thing at the top. Is that a quick wall from Mitoe at the top?
It looks like an attempt, yeah. Seems like it maybe saved some
And
kills here. And applying the counter pressure to pull the raid away from him.
Whoa.
Very big pickup.
Okay. Okay.
So the villager count is
now the issue
28 to 27. I'm not sure who has more settler
The thing is, these Black Riders, though, are just going to win any fight. Like, Mitoe doesn't have really anything to kill them. Seven war wagons, okay, but I think the Black Riders still win. All right, so here's the big engage. Interestingly enough, the Black Riders are shooting the war wagons. I think he's moved them slightly now, so they're going to be shooting the Ulans.
It's unfortunate.
Mitoe's microing his own war wagons on
He didn't save any of the Ulans for this turn, so that might have made the difference, but it looks like this will be enough to be a victory for Kaiser.
Yeah. That was nicely done, and to be honest, I think that was mostly won in aids too. Really, Kaiser he likes to get that small lead before he ages up. So, as I mentioned at the start, he's like often content just aging 30 seconds, 40 seconds behind the other guy, but just having done a lot of damage with that doppel timing. Mitoe tried to skip the doppels, and sometimes you can do that and you just get away with it, and then you have a lead, but it just didn't work out there. And so Kaiser picks up game one.
So let's just look at that post game very quickly. We see all resources heavily in Kaiser's favor, as well as military. Quite the differential here. I guess a lot of treasure guardians were killed. Or does TC fire affect this? I'm not quite sure what's created this difference here.
Oh wait, sorry, difference in what?
So we see 45 to 45 on Mitoe's tab, whereas we see 56 to 39 on Kaiser's. Kind of odd.
Wow. Black Riders.
We really do see the XP total making a difference. This is almost a full. Is this a full shipment advantage to Kaiser with the?
That's more than a shipment. But is some of that due to the awards? I don't know how that's calculated, I'll be honest. But yeah, I mean, Mitoe was definitely down at least like 2 XP passes or something. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was down a shipment towards the end, for sure.
So do you think that the result of this match was a issue of strategy, or did it come down to execution in micro?
It's always both, if you're going to be honest. But I do like Kaiser's strategy. I like his strategy better. The 700 wood, skipping it, you really have to be fully aware of what the other guy is doing to know if you can kind of skip that high value shipment and get to age 3 a bit faster. The one thing I am curious is to see if this silversmith variant kind of like stays around. I'm not 100% sold on it, but both these two probably the best German players, and they're currently using it. So,
Yeah, and
could have been up so much faster.
I heard Mitoe discussing this with, I believe, another top player, and they were saying that it does seem that silversmith will be the popular option in German mirrors going forward, at least as far as they can tell. So for match 2, we have Ottomans for Kaiserklein, and Mitoe is once again playing the Germans. So tell me about this matchup. What are both players trying to achieve here?
God, I'm just looking at the map thinking this brings back bad memories. We got Sonora. Oh my goodness. I mean,
I think the hunts for Mitoe this map is a bit closer, aren't they? They mostly seem to be in the same screen as you see for Kaiser, a bit farther away.
The only issue with this is if the definitive edition people working on it could quickly fix up live spectating, and then we could type to the players, But currently not a feature, so Kaiser's going to have to sort of do some good herding, should we say? But it's okay. Ottoman, they barely have any villagers anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like that hunt, This hunt's gonna last him the first 20 minutes. Honestly, he'll be fine. He can go to berries after that. I wouldn't worry about him.
We see a very powerful Hominka treasure being picked up by Mitoe here. Kaiser's Explorer seems a little bit far to contest this. Doesn't look like he's scouting it. This is very, very good for establishing that early H2 presence. You can oftentimes challenge forward base, challenge TP placements. It makes it very difficult for the other player. We also see that Kaiser does have very, very safe gold mines, whereas Mitoe's second gold mine is a bit more exposed. So maybe that kind of evens out the resources.
It's a good point. Yeah. Something this map is also notorious for is, in general, it just has kind of rubbish treasures. Like, you always feel like you get a really bad age 1 on this map, partly because of the hunts and partly because the treasures are just so low on resources. But this, harmonica is actually a really, really nice treasure. Like, that often will just make your age 1. So yeah, that might stop Klein picking up a TP later on as well. So yeah, I think Mitoe's gonna be pretty happy with that.
So we see both a Mosque and a TP for Kaiser, making the most of all of that starting wood. The TP now gives a full 0.75 XP per second, which is almost as good as a villager.
Wait, as good as oh, you mean like a villager on like Aztec 5?
Well, it's a little better than that, but as far as the value of this mosque, it's almost as valuable as a villager. And of course, you do need it later as the autumn.
Yeah, so I think the question for Kaiserklein here is, do you go stagecoach or not? Because the TP route is kind of like a very odd TP route. On most maps, it's sort of like, cuts straight through the center, or it just cuts down vertically. But this one it's sort of in a really weird line, and you can kind of take like 3 of them, possibly 4 of them.
So Mitoe picking up the scout too. This is really a perfect start for him. Mitoe makes very, very good use of these scouts. He's also absolutely denying any additional TPs. I expect Kaiser's Explorer was here with that purpose in mind, but that is not happening.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Kaiser's gathering, right? He's got everyone on wood, so I mean, his intention was definitely going to be a second TP. It looks like, but he's attacking the faster villager train time.
Oh, he saved his Explorer with the TC fire. That was very, very well executed by Kaiser. A very good trade, I would say.
For how long? How much HP has it got? It's like 1 shot away, isn't it?
I think that's 3 shots or
20,
4 possibly. Oh, wait, how much damage does it deal? Yeah, 3 shots.
Oh wow!
I'm not sure. Can't do the math. Either way, he is going to save it. Mitoe doesn't want to lose his Explorer in a hard to retrieve position here.
That's the most obnoxious cliff ever. You can see as well. Oh
he did snipe him. So is this going to deny a TP from Mitoe? It probably will, actually. The Germans really want to get this TP up, so let's see if he sends a settler wagon.
Yeah.
Or is he just going to say screw it and not build a TP?
That's a tough call, because like villagers and settler wagons build they build trading posts so slow. I know Mitoe, he had a unit at the top. I think he's moved it, whatever it was. Maybe it was the native scout. Yeah, it was the native scout, so he can have contested Kaiserklein's TP. It looks like he's not going for the TP, so he'll probably just wait till his Uhlans pick up his Explorer. And Kaiserklein going for the forward barracks.
So he is fully aware that Germany relies on gold mines quite a bit, and so you see him placing this barracks right next to this gold mine. It's always smart to place your forward bases on the resources that you know your opponent will need to beat you.
Yeah, I think Kaiserklein definitely goes for stagecoach here now, knowing that your opponent doesn't have a TP as well. Just his rack's position, it's going to secure the 3rd TP. Oh, and Mitoe's playing pretty out of the box. 8 crossbows.
Interesting.
I mean,
he scouted the barracks.
I like this. Yeah.
And we know crossbows do counter that, so it seems like a sensible enough shipment. I think it's good for Kaiser to be building these 3 TPs and going for stagecoach, though, because it will mean that this early defensive play by Mitoe will not necessarily cripple Kaiser in any way.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's quite aggressive, right? Like this is maybe the one weak point with doing free TP stagecoach is you don't have like so many units out early, and that's what Mito's trying to capitalize on. Instead of going free settler wagons or 700 wood himself, he wants to get those 8 bows out early. They're easily going to push away these
and making five pikes.
jams.
So I mean, we would almost need a cav shipment from Kaiser if he wants to defend this, but I'm not sure he has that. These crossbows are gonna be bad news for him. If Mitoe manages to take down this barracks, I'd say he's in a fantastic position.
Oh, he did lose. He lost his Explorer again. So, I mean, Mitoe that is as well. Kaiser just lost his, but the fact that Mitoe lost his means he can't add his own TP again behind us. It almost made it out, to be honest.
I mean, when in doubt, get XP by killing stuff. Seems like that's Mitoe's philosophy right now.
Yeah. Classic don't scout and start with the wrong building. To be honest, I think this was maybe not... I think it was quite hard to scout, right? Like, you can't scout that your opponent's shipping 8 crossbow first. Like, that feels really kind of a really hard thing to scout. I think that was just a nice reaction by Mitoe, and credit where it's due. But Klein's added Huss behind us. Do we have enough anti-cav? So I think he's got 5 pikes, right? That might be okay. They're a bit behind.
He'll use the...
But they are just going to get there in time.
Yeah, Mitoe's so good at moving units in retreat and not letting that snare affect him.
Yeah, and the issue for Kaiserklein now is he has the hussars, but to contest the pikes and get a good composition, he really needs another production facility. So I think he's got Abus guns, right? I see a artillery foundry just at the back. So that would be good for him. But he's losing a second TP, which is so costly.
He still has this one, though.
He spent...
Let's see if Mitoe retreats for it. Oh. He does. I think he just won his pikes a little bit closer.
Yeah.
You see the food shipment from Ottomans. That's interesting. Yeah. He realizes he has no hunts in base, and this is his only source. It's been put under pressure. Let's see if Mitoe realizes that challenging this hunt will win him the game.
Yeah, and Kaiser's frantically trying to get units. Like, he's got 5 Jans on the way. Not the greatest
perfect timing here,
shipment, but I mean, it's what he needs. It's what he needs now.
Oh gosh.
Perhaps he could maybe even call Minutemen as well.
Yeah, this is brutal. Just no access to food at all right now. The winner of this fight, if it is Mitoe, the game is basically over.
Kaiser's army's pretty good though here. We'll see what his micro's like. So the Abus guns are pulling back. He's not engaging with the Huss just yet. They're going back in doing that little dance they do. We've got some more pikes from Mitoe.
Takes a few hits there. He didn't need to, but yeah, focusing down these Abus guns very well. Yeah, this can definitely be cleaned up by Kaiser, but let's just see how many units he loses in the process.
Nice little pull through as well. He pulled the pikes again. Yeah, it's so important. Rather than just attack moving with the pikes, and then they sort of awkwardly walk around the crossbows. You see Mitoe there use the pull trick both times, and the pikes like kind of glide through the crossbow mass, and they took down 2 hussars. So that's a really nice high level micro trick.
2 more military buildings being thrown down by Mitoe.
Presumably he just hit maybe 700 wood, right? And he's just spending that.
And also getting his Explorer back, probably going to place a TP finally. Kaiser building back his 3rd TP.
Wait, did he somehow built that 3rd TP while like the fight was all going on up there, right? Because he lost that.
Or did he just repair it? I don't remember if he lost it or not.
I mean, he's done a good job of keeping it alive. If that was the case, I think he rebuilt it when the fight was going on. So that was well done. But yeah, I mean, if you're on 3 TPs, then that's okay. Because Mitoe still hasn't had a single TP since this game started as Germany, which might come back to bite him.
That is not something I expected, to see Germany just putting their first TP down at 9 minutes in a game of this level. But it just goes to show that you don't want to lose this Explorer. You have to be careful around those town centers. Kaiser's fully aware that if he can snipe it with the town center, that has a lot of strategic value.
Oh wow, he's even going 5 units here. This is like such a scrappy game because of the sort of low hunts that I don't know if I want to call it low hunt. Maybe it is low hunt, but they're so awkwardly positioned around the map that you just need army out to be able to constantly contest these. And 5 Ulands isn't a great shipment in terms of value, but these players just kind of want army out right now so they can constantly be contesting both the TPs and also the hunts.
Obvious pressure here coming in. Are these enough to one-hit a Vil? Not quite. He does have great coat.
Nah. It's honestly, that's the one thing Abus do not do well against is villagers.
Oh yeah, the 0.25. Probably necessary for balance. One can only imagine.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting a bit of value, sniped a couple of units, but Mito's going to try and go in. There's not that much anti-cap, but the Husk will kind of function.
I think Mitoe wins this fight. Has the snare, has just too many Mulans, too many pikes. Not enough, no anti-cap in fact for Kaiser.
It might be he never had the opportunity to add in the barracks because he was kind of invested in rebuilding those
no barracks.
So his Explorer's going to do a bit of work though, so Kaiserklein's Explorer tanked quite a lot. If he can get rid of all these Husks, and it's only just Abus versus bows, he can kite that.
Yeah, he did manage to keep that trade relatively even.
There's the barracks, by the way. Just in a different location.
Do you think Kaiser scouted this hunt? Let's see. He hasn't. Oh no. If he had, he could wall this and it'd be very, very safe.
That's the classic.
Actually, very little of the map scouted. Hasn't even found Mito's town center yet. A little bit better scouting by Mitoe. Picks up this cow.
Again, though, Kaiserklein has held that. He's now actually added in that barracks. It was probably added in quite a while ago, but we found it anyway. So he can work on that composition. And the longer this goes in Age 2, obviously the better it's probably going to be for Ottomans.
Looks like both players are going up to the 3rd age, or at least wanting to keep that option open. It will be interesting when Kaiser's hunt runs out here. He's going to have a lot of villager walking. And I'm not sure if he's going to have the food necessary to age. He does have all of his TPs on food, but there'll be a window of opportunity here for Mitoe.
I get the impression both these guys are going to want to stay age 2, just because if you spend that many resources to age, you're just going to lose trading post control. If anyone will go up, it'll be Mitoe. But Kaiserklein's definitely going to be constantly spending his resources on units right now. This wall is so nice because obviously the Abus outrange everything. So yeah, Mitoe he can't push this. He can't push the TP because all Klein has to do is just retreat back through the gate. So that's those 2 wall segments. Huge value.
The power of 60 wood, huh?
Yeah, that really is. And now this becomes awkward for Mitoe because I think up until this point he's had a bit of an advantage. We can kind of see it in the score, but if you carry on training just crossbows and pikes, this is perhaps where you might lose the advantage.
Kaiser probably going to send
also,
all
as you're highlighting
here.
there.
Still not knowing about this. If he just moved his explorers to the left a little bit, it'd be available. But let's see if he scouts this. Oh, Mitoe actually sees that the hunt runs out, and you see he's running his cap up to potentially challenge that. Maybe he spotted these Husks as well, trying to capture them. Oh yeah, and he knows that he needs to defend this hunt up here.
Mitoe cleans up those 2 Husks. That's pretty nice. Doesn't even lose a villager. This hunt up top's really exposed for Kaiser, and he's gonna. I'm just looking at the minimap, wondering where these Ulands are going.
When Mitoe starts this raid, he's gonna be able to age for free. Kaiser has to do something about this, or is he just going on blind faith?
They're going right there. He's seen the dead hunt, right? This isn't just a random click, right?
No,
he must know they're net. Like he doesn't. What?
I think he knows that there is.
I don't believe that.
I think he knows that. There's a hunt there, and by now Kaiser might need to hunt with it, but
we don't realize.
Are we going to see just an instant resign, or is Kaiser going to go for oh god, Dops being trained? Interesting.
I don't believe that.
Oh, that's like 20 villagers.
Nice
Oh
cliff.
yeah, he just calls it.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I can see the bar. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that these deer right here, being very sneaky, wanting to keep themselves
mhm,
alive, are the MVP of this game, and they really helped Mito out.
yeah. As much as that cliff is genuinely obnoxious, I think the issue there is you need line of
Mm-hmm.
sight. Like I know he was out of hunt, and so you obviously you have to move the bills to the next hunt. But without any line of sight there, it's a gamble. And against Germans, it's that's the one civ you can pretty much guarantee that you're gonna get that nuked or your bills are just gonna get constantly dunked. So he needed to drop a house or something. And if you don't do that, well, that's just the result of that. I think the thing is, if it's only because he just moved his vills, right? If it had been the Gavin for 30 seconds longer, I'm sure he would have put his next house to the right. But he'd only just moved them there, and so probably just didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. So to all you newer players out there, make sure you scout the whole map. Make sure you know where both your resources are, where your enemy's resources are, and use that map control and that contesting of resources to win the game.
Ah, that was a that was a good one.
It was. I cannot believe Mito managed to win without any TPs as Germany. That's very, very surprising. Do you think perhaps
That
Kaiser
was
was a little
yeah.
overly greedy given that he knew Mito didn't have a trade post?
Um, it's again, it comes back to like you can't know that the other guy's going 8 crossbow first. Like I think it's just credit, well done to Mito for making that adaptation and just shipping 8 crossbow first. I'll be honest, I don't know the matchup super well, so maybe it is a bit more standard than perhaps I'm letting on. But I really don't think it is. I think most people stick to that 3 settler wagon or 700 wood first. And that's kind of like the one window that Ottomans is a little bit exposed on because they're investing so many resources into that
Mm-hmm.
stagecoach upgrades, 400 resources, and then each TP is 200 wood, so obviously you only get 5 Jans, and the Ottomans just not expecting
And
it.
we did see
Um, and
Kaiser
so yeah,
say that he
wow.
wanted to scout Mito's military building, and he would have started with another um, military building had he known that. Perhaps had he scouted the barracks, he would know that crossbow pike of some sort was coming, and perhaps a stable would have been able to abuse that lack of mobility on Mito's end and forced him to stay in base with the pikes.
Well, yeah, good luck scouting with Ottoman. You've got one explorer, right? You're building TPs. Like you can't.
Yeah, that's why it's so big to pick up these
All
scout
right,
treasures.
yeah. What's this
Okay,
matchup
so
then? Go on.
Manchuria, we have Mito playing China and Kaiserklein playing the
Oh,
French.
really?
I know Mito favors China on this
Wow.
map. He's practiced it a lot. He is going to want to pick up all of these yaks. They're very, very good for China to be able to put them on villages. Additionally, we might see him go water. He hasn't picked a deck yet, but he does like sending that one dock rickshaw plus the ability to train fishing boats for just 50 wood. He likes playing that. It reduces the need of map
Does
control,
he?
and
Ah.
also it's difficult for a player to challenge without overcommitting. The 2 Caravel card is pretty costly. That's an age 2 card, whereas the dock rickshaw is just an age 1 card, and Mito is usually pretty happy to take that trade, I know.
Okay. I hope he sends that then. That's something you don't often see. Is that something I know you probably played quite a bit against Mito. Is that something that he's done against
Not
you then?
against me. I am not a
But
good
you
enough player to warrant playing games against him, but I've seen him use it against other players. We do
okay.
see this wood treasure coming in from Mito, a huge pickup. If he does go with the dock, this will be almost 2 extra fishing boats. Still no deck from him. We don't know if he's doing that.
I hope he is now. But obviously, yeah, he's just going to use this this wood presumably to pick up a TP. I mean, Kaiser's headed there because he knows that might be what China's doing.
Almost loses that. Going for the melee. This is probably pretty good for Kaiser to slow down Mitoe's Explorer here. Oh, the nice block with the Yaks. I love it. Because he knows he has a scout that's a little bit better than Mitoe's, and so if these Explorers sort of cancel out, it's going to benefit Kaiser.
Yeah. Well, that certainly shuts down some of the options for Mitoe, right? You can't go trading post anymore, so presumably he's just dropped his second village and he's going to go 3 vills, which is actually becoming more standard again. Anyway, just due to the recent changes, I think that they made the village a bit cheaper, so it's slightly more attractive again than
and
the TP.
I love that Kaiser just walked his Explorer straight here, knowing that should Mitoe be picking up a costly treasure as he did, he'll be able to deny that TP. So very, very good game knowledge from Kaiser, knowing exactly what Mitoe wants and doing the perfect thing to counter it. So perhaps Mitoe shouldn't have picked up that wood treasure. I don't know if any China player would just leave that there. It helps them so much, but
no.
but Kaiser actually benefits quite a bit from Mitoe going for that, and he almost even stole the treasure. Can you imagine that double whammy had that steal taking place?
Oh yeah, that's the instant mental resign right there for sure. But I mean, just how many Yaks? Kaiser must be doing really well on Yaks, right? Because he got a couple across Mitoe's side. So Mitoe's got about 3. So I'm assuming Kaiser is considerably ahead. And yeah, this potentially opens up the option for a livestock pen, which is something I see. Mitoe's kind of a big fan of it. He seems to use the livestock pen more than other people. So I'll be interested to see if Kaiser does it. You probably need a few more than 5. If he's only got 5, that's not enough. But maybe if you get up to say 8. Then yeah, it can certainly be worth it. And I think there's a couple left on the map, so we'll see if he gets
Interesting
those.
that we see idle time for Kaiser. That's pretty unusual with France. What was the cause of that, do you think? We weren't really watching his base too closely.
I think there's just a lot going on. Like he's been constantly microing as Explorer. There's a lot to do on Age 1 because we can see he's even got Yaks just sent to that TP there as well. Doesn't want theirs to get stolen. So yeah, there's just a lot going on because you've got your native scout. Nice little pull trick there by Mitoe, just making sure he's not gonna. You've got to run past this treasure. So yeah, you can't.
Kaiser's trying to pull trick his Explorer to keep getting shots on Mitoe. Meanwhile.
Is that? I guess Mitoe has to counter pull trick, right? Now he's got there we.
So we've had 2 Explorer losses by Mitoe in the first 2 games. Will there be a third? Will there be a third? I think so. I don't think he can run away here.
Yeah, it doesn't get out. It doesn't get out. Despite
Kaiser just cannot lose this scout.
It's gonna get
if Kaiser loses this scout, Mitoe will be reasonably satisfied, but no. Kaiser wisely keeps it alive, steals a treasure to boot, and no TP for Mitoe. Ouch. Can he pull off another miracle, a TP-less victory with a civilization that heavily relies on TPs?
Yeah, 90 XP in the treasure as well. I'm not seeing this dock wagon, by the way.
No.
So I'll be honest, I'm very disappointed. Like you set me up for that, and I'm like, it's just not happening. Have we seen Mitoe's deck?
It doesn't have any water shipments. We do see Kaiser.
Did he not? He didn't
have 2. So Mitoe's probably reasonably satisfied that Kaiser has to respect that water, and perhaps Mitoe chose his deck as late as possible to trick Kaiser into picking a water deck.
All right, and we can see what Klein's going for. That's a clear stagecoach play there. So again, nice little move. He's going to go for the TP first that your enemy is most likely going to take.
Wood coming in, first card from Mitoe, and a War Academy. So we're going to see some Age 2 play. Perhaps he is thinking that he can take down these trading posts, and we'll get into H3 maybe with more of an advantage than just doing nothing. Because right now, as is, China's going to be at a big disadvantage without a TP, so he needs to make something happen.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the idea, as you said. And maybe we'll see to some extent a repeat of what happened last time, where he gets out a sizable army, where Kaiser's invested all this wood into well, I was going to say stagecoach, but where's his Explorer going? Is he just getting greedy, trying to take an extra treasure here, and then
he's just going for it?
So it's obvious. Wait, what? What? You can't do that,
This
can
is
you?
Mito's style. He knows that if he leaves it alone, he's less likely to get the treasure. But now he switched straight onto the Explorer. Interesting. Ooh, who got this? Oh, Kaiser picks it up. Ouch. You see Ming army now for Mito. A stable here by Kaiser. Still no Hussar, though. Mito definitely wants to take down these teepees if he can. He is going to deny the 3 TP stagecoach, that's for sure. Probably...
I wonder if it was like a bait from Mito just to keep the Explorer interested and then get the kill on the Explorer, stop the third TP and stagecoach. I don't know if I'm reading too much into that or if
I
that's
think
what
that's
happened
very
there.
possible,
But
that he
yeah,
wanted that
right.
Explorer to stay there so he could kill it. He does find
That
the
was
scout.
such
This is
a
very important. Scouts they can really change games, and looks like Mito is going to keep meta. These Huss are not going to want to...
Yeah, he does need to keep hunting that though.
You actually see that he's using his Hussar to save his scout. So that gives you an idea of how valuable top players find these scouts.
Oh, it's risky, but he gets away just in time.
More yaks here being scouted that have not yet been built. Had Kaiser found these, he probably would have built the pen.
Curious to see what Mito's plan for this 700 wood is, because he's sort of struggling to spend it just a little bit. We can see some of it's being spent.
I think
now,
he wants the TPs.
He's had that in
Oh,
fair
look at
time.
this too, German consulate. So this really indicates he's going to be building some banner armies right away. I believe he sent the 300 export, so he's going to try and get this wood trickle and food trickle going, and maybe switch to British after that.
Wow. Yeah, guess the FF meta's long behind us.
Well, we're
now.
just seeing this.
I mean, even going for imperial bureaucracy. So yeah, this is definitely a different China style. Are we able to see like what Kaiser's resources? Because I sort of thought he was going to go for stagecoach. Obviously, that is on the way now, even with 2 TBs and. Okay, this is interesting. So he reckons he can hold this. Perhaps he doesn't know how heavy Mito's going into.
Let's see if he remembers to cancel it. I mean, oh yeah, he does cancel it for sure. He's just gonna go H3. Probably pretty smart of him just to click that up, just in case Mito isn't going any more committal to his H2 play. But he's able to react in time.
Yeah. So he didn't lose too much. Gets the resources back, right? I mean, if your opponent's not going H2, stagecoach is the right thing. But of course, he sees that he is, so cancels the stagecoach. So
these walls,
the quick wall. It doesn't work, does it? Come on, this isn't AoE3.
It buys him just enough time to. I mean, he gets good damage on these Hussar. Mito's very happy to take that trade, I'm sure. Is he going to place this TP, maybe? Yeah, Kaiser just going for the trade here. Losing about 2 Huss worth of HP here, maybe more with these being caught here, but does take down 2 villagers. I just love this improvisation from Mito. I'm sure normally he would want to just go H3 right away, but knowing he can't get the TPs, he's thinking that this H2 play is a better path to victory for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, so he's obviously going to age up behind, right? We can see he's now macroing for, he's going to be hoping to get 700 coin. Oh, another nice Vil pick again, so that's pretty good. So the thing here, though, is Mito's waiting on 700 coin, which he doesn't have on the way, just judging by his distribution. Oh, no, is he? Oh, maybe that's coming. Maybe I'm being a bit slow, because he's got the coin now. But he's going to be aged up so much slower than Kaiserklein. Kaiserklein's not shipping 1k wood. He's going aggressive. So he's got 8 skirms on the way. He's going to get a full batch of skirms, full batch of goons, and he's going to walk right up to Mito and start poking him with a huge number of skirms. Mito's not going to really be able to deal with that efficiently until 2-3 minutes away from now. So Kaiserklein could get a lot done with these 8 skirms.
So Mito aging with the skirmishers. He's doing this because he knows that he does not have time to age with the porcelain tower. He's going to need to use every trick in the book to defend from this early H3 pressure. I'm sure he's aware the skirmishers are coming. He's dealing with his macro now, knowing that he's going to have a lot of intense micro coming up ahead. So what do you do as Mito? How do you defend from the skirm pressure?
Well, Yeah, first thing he did, as you said, he aged with the correct wonder. Like he knows he can't get away with the tower because he knows Kaiser could be knocking at his door. So that's a
No
smart
villagers
decision.
coming in. There we go.
Otherwise, you don't really have any option. You just hide your villagers, really. Make sure your army just don't take an engagement. Try and lose as few buildings as possible. Like there's not really too much you can do other than move your villagers out of the way and move your army out of the way. And he's ticked off both those points. Kaiser's just gonna pick off the village here, which is nice, but you do want to kind of make use of the window where you're up a minute and a half earlier. So we'll see if he gets anything more done other than just one village. And I'm not sure he will actually, because Mito's about to age up, and then obviously he'll have these additional skirms in, and that's probably enough actually to push Kaiserklein back.
We do have 17 skirms here, so it will be a while before Mito's going to have the skirm mass to be able to challenge this. So we're going to see probably an attempt to poke as much as Kaiser can, but pretty good resource and villager placement here. Kaiser wants to get some more information, so he's sending these Husby to see where Mito's gathering. Does see the village. So he's going to be looking for where Mito's keeping his villagers, and he knows exactly where that is. Will we see Kaiser start poking around here?
Ooh. Yeah. Did I'm assuming Kaiserklein maybe shipped 1k wood second just because he had a. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh, that's the shift click bug, isn't it? The classic. Yeah, you got to be careful of shift clicking things. I reckon we'll get a comment in as well from Kaiserklein. Hopefully, I'll be disappointed if we didn't. But yeah, he may as well finish that other TP, then he'll come back. So yeah, bit of an inconvenience, but probably not going to decide this.
Finishing it with a villager. Mitoe sending the arquebusier to help contest this skirm mass with Kaiser. They do trade pretty well with skirmishers. Mito's going to be pretty comfortable if he knows this comparison. Obviously, he does not. Notably, too, we do not see Kaiserklein spamming Cuirassier. He's going more for the Goon skirm mass, knowing that China has a lot of melee units and hoping to out-micro those with his highly mobile army.
Yeah, and Kaiser looks in a really nice position now. I'm pretty sure he squeezed. Yeah, we got the shipment sent at the bottom there, so he got that 1k wood in, which is super high value. And yeah, the French army is gonna be quite hard to beat. And especially since now China doesn't have the tower, his eco is not as good as we normally see China's maybe.
I love the use Mito's gotten out of these 3 Keshik. Finally sacrificing them to the greater good, getting a good scout in to see how much of a skirm mass Kaiser has. So those are the last great act for the noble nation of China. And from here on out, he's going to be going with his Cav pike type unit and skirm.
Yeah. So it's a good time in here for Mitoe, maybe. Kaiserklein's put some resources into
great position.
It's 5 cav from the top. Can he get a full
Not
surround
worth it,
on?
Mitoe.
So we got some
I think
cav
he
at the top and the bottom.
I don't know how
And
these skirms can get away.
There's a cliff.
I think this is it. I don't see how Kaiser can win this fight. Mitoe just going to be microing down these these goons. There's no path of retreat for Kaiser. Do we see more cav coming in? No cav coming in for Mitoe that I see. Just starting a batch now. With a little raid here. Oh, he does have cav! He needs to send it in. Might not be needed. Oh, this is painful.
Let's see the Skirm Goon, you just want to be kiting constantly, but there's nowhere to kite.
Huge crew.
It's a big cures. He's gonna have to pull some of these pikes. All of the pikes.
Oh my gosh!
Back to that,
if Mitoe had just brought this cav in, this would probably be GG already. As is, it's pretty even. I still think it goes in Mitoe's favor. He's gonna have a few more skirmishers, a few more cav. I just don't see how Kaiser can escape.
Because these cav are. Yeah, these cav are going to finish them off, and if you look at the mini-map, there's just nothing else coming from Kaiser, so these skirms are pretty much all dead. I don't think really any of them are going to get out of there. So that's a huge advantage for Mitoe.
Yeah, it looks like Kaiser just sort of trapped his army. Maybe a tiny bit of an overcommit given the location of this cliff.
Yeah, he's I get the impression he's probably not a big fan of cliffs after
No,
having played
this series has
so.
not been one to improve his opinion of cliffs. That is for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so the only trick he's got left up his sleeve, I guess, is the 2 falconets. And you can see he's sort of trying to add in a lot of dragoons now just to kind of complement the only option that he really has now. But I mean, China can often just steamroll 2 falconets. There's quite often not enough to body block. And they've got the fancy cav that kind of has a bit of a range as well. So you don't even need to be super close to the falconets to kill them. So yeah, Mitoe's just using this advantage to try and steamroll the trading post line and then take them for himself. It's a swing of 4 vills for each TP you kill, so it's it's a really big eco difference. So it's a good use of his army advantage right now.
So here come the Falcons. Do you think Mitoe's expecting the Falcons coming? He is making more cav, so that tells me he is expecting them.
Yeah, you've always got to expect it. Like it's gonna come at some point. Like it's a great shipment. It's gonna happen. So always expect them. But yeah, he's got a huge army. So Klein will need like he's gonna have to try and make the terrain work to his advantage. Maybe often with the small army and Falcons, if you find like a good choke point, maybe if you take a fight next to one of these native trading posts that kind of seals off one of the directions that China can get us around from. Maybe even take a fight next to his town center, block with CDBs, get some Minutemen. That could actually go quite well. But he is gonna, he's gonna need the terrain advantage if he wants to win the fight. Because if this fight happens out in the open, China's just gonna win.
Let's see if Kaiser tries to save this TC. I think he has to do something here. It's tough. I mean, he'll have TC fire, he'll have Minutemen, he'll have CDB to fight. I don't know when his position is going to be better, but he is still outmasked by quite a bit.
Yeah, as you say, he kind of has to do something because there's a few vills in here. TC is expensive. Let's see if he gets this Minutemen calling just before it goes down.
He does not.
Not quite. That would have been useful. He's behind these trees though, which is nice, but I just don't know if he's got enough. But Mitoe doesn't want to go through the trees, which is fair enough. China, their army often paths quite awkwardly, and I'm sure if you're an experienced China player, you just like try and avoid taking fights in large forests, just as a general rule. So
it looks like the surprise Cuirassier mass is Kaiser's strategy. Finally sending this cav combat. Very, very good combination with Kurs to have that cav combat, since it does affect their H3 stats, I believe. Is that correct? Is that still correct?
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, I think the change was they changed like the H5
I suppose
upgrade.
we can see in just a few seconds.
So yeah,
Kaiser now housed.
So it's
gonna be a bit awkward. He might have to buy wood.
That's actually brutal. Yeah, he's got enough resources to probably get out these 10 goons, and he really needs to get them out for this fight. So hopefully, for his sake, he can trade at the market. I'm assuming he probably can. So he's got a market there. Hopefully, he can get that final house down. Not sure he is actually. So yeah, he might miss this batch, which might be okay because Mitoe's pulling back. So it's one of those things that you never know. If the big fight happens and you got resources banked, you'll be pretty disappointed. But if the big fight doesn't happen yet, then he can spend it, and it's all is forgiven.
So do we see Mitoe sending the cavalry armor? He has already sent that, yes. So this is a very scary cav mass by Mitoe. It will actually be able to deal with these Cuirassier not too badly. Yeah, he's just going for it. He knows that this isn't the worst fight for him. Retreating tactically to bring the rest of his army in. And, looks like these Kurs are going to go down. There's not really much Kaiser can do to escape with them.
Yeah, he just gets steamrolled here, right? There's not enough.
One problem is the cannons. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, he does pull 3, but the goon should be able to kill this in one hit. The Flying Crow is going to get a shot off. Takes out a cannon. That's huge.
Oh, the Flying Crow is ridiculous. Yeah, it's like a falconet and a
Well, in H3, they're actually outranged quite a bit by the falconet, so that was a good micro by Mitoe to be able to move that in. And now we have 7 villagers, 7 CDB, which is almost 9, 10 regular villagers. It's a big loss for Kaiser. Just trying to buy himself as much time as possible by sending him to the corner. And meanwhile going for a counter raid to maybe try and equalize this loss here.
Yeah, if you're buying time, you gotta try and use it. And yeah, he's gonna try and raid, and might get something. So castle, they
it looks like this might
build,
work.
so he should get here in time.
Oh, the walls again. Oh, that's so effective. Look at the amount of time Mitoe's bought himself.
Oh wow. Okay, this. I'll be honest. The first quick wall we saw Mitoe do, I wasn't overly impressed. But this one, I'll give it some credit. Like that's actually doing something. It's actually stopping the cures hitting the bills for a bit.
Mitoe figures if he can just trade these bills for this army, he's still in a perfectly good position. He cleaned up those CDB earlier. Don't know what these guys are doing. Can Kaiser escape from here without losing his army? That is the question.
Yeah, he did actually get good damage done. The castle went down, I guess, because the 4x siege bonus for unbuilt buildings. And yeah, I mean these calves should be able to get out, right? China doesn't really have any goons, so all we can do is kind of awkwardly move his units. Oh, they're losing 10 scams. Yeah, that's a big.
There is going to be a Flying Crow going down, but maybe not actually. I think that it's not really worth the time.
No, you maybe.
I'm not sure this is a good trade for Kaiser. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, it does seem like he's able to clean up a lot of these units here. Looks like he made a good decision after all. Oh, going for the market block! Oh! I love it! I love it! I've never seen this before. Oh my goodness.
Has he just like come off watching like an AoE3 tournament? Like, what is it? He's just trying to quick wall.
Oh, that is awesome to see. Oh gosh. So much damage by these 6 meteor hammers down there. Oh, I think Kaiser's just too frustrated. He sees he lost the skirms, more villagers. Calls it. Kaiser down to just 27 villagers. No wonders.
Yeah.
China's wonders account for about, I don't know, almost 10 villagers of value, so big lead for Mitoe with his 2 TPs. Kaiser just not enough army, not enough economy. A little frustrated about the damage dealt by the meteor hammers in the markets, and calls it a game.
Yeah, that's a pretty sizable score lead at the end there. So that's 2-1 to Mitoe, right?
2-1 Mitoe.
Have I tallied that up correctly? 2-1 to Mitoe. Okay. So on to potentially match point. And is that the first time we've seen China win during this tournament? It might be the first time
I can't remember seeing China played until now.
Maybe someone in chat can correct me on that. But, yeah. But apparently it's still a civilization and can still win games. So maybe other people will take.
I know Mitoe is big on the opinion that China is a little bit underrated. He thinks they're still good, especially on those livestock maps, because they really benefit more than other civs when there is a bit of livestock to fatten on the villages that China's always going to be making no matter what.
Yeah, that's the thing with China as well, right? You have to pick it on the map that suits it, and Manchuria is a classic for
I love just seeing both players' villager counts just completely plummet at the end. It seems like that often does happen in conjunction, because when one person's raiding, that leaves their villagers vulnerable, and these top players, they're fully aware of that and are very good at capitalizing on those counter punches.
Well, I'm guessing it's I don't know, another French. Yeah, French. There we go. Doesn't take a genius to work out French as a popular pick these days, especially on. Oh, there we go. Of course, it's popular. Both players going for French here on Florida. Very good map for it. You can get that TB and hunting dogs.
The market starts a little bit better for France than other civs, since when they age at 14 bills, that does gather as quickly as, I believe, 17.25 vils, which is more than any other civilization gets in Age 1 with standard play. So that hunting dogs is going to have a little bit.
Wait, sorry,
I
what?
believe the 14 French vils.
17.25 vils. Have you done the?
I'm going off
done
of
the
memory there,
workings
but
for that?
I believe that's what it adds up to. So it's.
You're probably right. I've just never heard that before.
So a very powerful upgrade for French.
Thanks for the
Age 1.
statistics.
We see both players going for the early TP. Kaiser building his a little more forwards, maybe to just get himself in better position later.
Well, yeah. I think he just knows the timings that's where you get the first pass. We can see there on the screen the Travois wagon just moving past. I don't think it will affect the shipments too much because you still need a bit more XP to get it, and so hopefully that Travois will get across to Mito's TP just so it's a bit even for the players because obviously you don't want too much of an advantage.
He does get his first shipment first. He picks up the treasure XP, which helps a lot. The ESOC team, I believe, designed these TPs so that no player is going to get their first card with the first pass. However, if you pick up treasures, that can change everything, and you can get that shipment significantly earlier.
Yeah, and that's it's just good map knowledge to know, and so he gets the right TP there. And Mitoe as well with the same map knowledge, he gets the right TP for him as well. So his shipment's not too far behind. So not the end of the world. Ooh, so we got a 12-10 here from Klein, and I think Mitoe was still training villagers if that was correct. So yeah, different, quite a different strategy.
Did Kaiser ever pick up the hunting dog?
I think there's. Click on a vil. I think we can see right if you click on a vil. I think the fact that there's nothing there means that he didn't get it, and you probably can't squeeze that in unless you actually just get the 50 coin and 50 wooded treasures. If you're doing this sort of 12-10, to avoid as much idle time as possible, then you just can't do that. But obviously he'll try and pick it up now. I assume he'll get it pretty shortly, probably even before his house.
So it's interesting to see if Kaiser is going to want to send that 3 Hussar shipment first and do damage, or if he's going to play it a little bit more economical with that 4 villager shipment arriving just a bit earlier.
Yeah, I'm sure I casted a bunch of French mirrors maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure every time I saw the free Huss first, it actually didn't do that well. However, I get the impression there's quite a difference in age up times here. Like if we go back to Mitoe, is he even started?
No, he has not.
Aging? Just because when we last saw him, he had about 50 food in the bank. So free Huss could potentially get something done here, but then again, Kaiser can't necessarily know exactly what time Mitoe's aging at. Maybe he can guess that he went greedy and got hunting dogs in the TP and did 12-10, but you can't know these things for sure.
I think he's going to go without the 3 Huss. I think that he's going to expect Mitoe to have good enough defense here that he's not going to lose any villagers, and he's going to probably decide that getting those 4 villagers sooner is going to give him an economic lead, and the threat of the 3 Huss might change some of Mitoe's play and still give him an advantage.
Yeah. So he might still. Well, let's see what building he starts off with. Quite often, if you age faster, you do start off with the stable just because it gives you a bit more momentum, and you get your opponent's space a bit. Oh, he's going 3 Huss. Wow. And that could actually work here because Mitoe will take a long time to age. So usually this means that Mitoe is going to have to do a Rax in defense. He's getting great codes because he knows he's behind on the age up, so making sure his villagers are not going to be picked off too easily. But yeah, I think we've seen that the best defense to this is often a barracks, but he does have 7 on coin, which makes me wonder if he will try and drop a stable. I'd be a little bit concerned for him if he does actually try and drop a stable versus this, but he's got 7 on coin, so I don't know if that's just for steel traps or if he is going to go for the stable, because for muskets you don't need 7 on coin.
He's sacrificing the scout, but he will. Did he scout the 3 Huss, or did I guess he must have, because he saw that they were out there, so he knows that they're coming.
Yeah.
He's running this bill back. He knows the timing.
Wait,
he calls Minutemen preemptively.
Who called Minutemen?
Doesn't want to wait. Get away from me, Kaiser.
Okay, that's interesting.
I love seeing this game knowledge come into fruition. Just knowing exactly what the other player is going to do based on limited information. Very good to see.
It's expensive. I mean, okay, so Minutemen aren't super expensive, but they're not free either. So okay, it buys him some time, make sure he doesn't lose any bills. Then maybe he had to spend that then because otherwise his stable wouldn't go up. So maybe it was something that he just had to do. But I would still consider that a sort of a small win for Kaiserklein, right? You just forced your opponent to spend 300 resources, and those Minutemen are probably just going to degrade. And they barely scraped one Hussar, so I don't think they've really done too much here. They might push these Hussar away again, we'll see. Or no, Kaiser's going to try and pick them off. He's going to come in from the backside as well. So yeah, these Minutemen are not going to escape. Not that they could ever have done anyway. I love the villager
position by Mitoe, though. Very, very hard to kill any villagers here, except on this gold mine. Oh, it padded the wrong direction, but it did manage to sneak in, so no harm there. Few vills idle.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward house, but yeah, so he's got his own free hustle on the way, so he's trying to catch out Kaiserklein, but Kaiserklein's heading back on out of there. Not the biggest batch, but that's probably because of the fast age. Don't have the biggest eco. Mitoe's going to try and bait because he knows he's got free hustle, and Kaiser's also going to try and bait because he knows he's got hustle reinforcements. So both players are sort of doing the same thing, and what will happen is probably quite an even trade. So let's just watch the micro, I guess, and see who does it better.
Mitoe sees he's losing and cuts his losses, I guess.
And
takes a good opportunity to retreat where he wasn't snared.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close. Yeah. So I guess the question is now, do you quickly age up or do you either barracks and apply some more pressure? And who are we watching at the moment?
Going with the coin,
Kaiserklein's going to go for the... Yeah. So, it's probably the right decision from... Well, we'll see. I don't know. It's one of these risky things. You just never know. So he sees a lot of Huss. He's popped now, so he can't actually get out 2 more Huss. He would need to buy some wood. So Kaiser's forward stable might become a bit exposed here.
Mitoe throwing down the house,
and he's still sort of staying at 40 house space. Yeah. Oh, now he's going for 700 wood. So it feels like he's regretting a little bit, maybe shipping the 700 coin first. He thought there was a window to age up, and now he's realizing there wasn't.
And he is.
Oh, hang on. He cancelled his free Huss, right? Because he must have done. Okay. So yeah, I think basically Kaiser had 3 Huss in queue, and he thought, I'll cancel them so I quickly age up. And then he saw Mitoe's Huss, realized he couldn't. But let's see if he engages. Oh, he's going for it.
Excellent Explorer use.
Yeah, is he going to be able to pick up another one? Does Mitoe have anything coming? Because I know, of course, Mitoe shipped the 700 wood. He's got that double racks, which Kaiser sees, so that's huge. So he knows he doesn't want to overcommit here. He sees the 5 Huss coming. I mean, the native scout in a true MVP here. That's incredibly so important. Because without the native scout, maybe you just right click into that and lose all your Huss.
Kaiser sending 600 coin now. Oh wait. What am I looking at? He canceled the 700 coin. Is that it? He must have cancelled it.
I think he's still sent. I mean, basically, they're just sending all the crates at this point. Just get all the units out that you can. These Musk are a bit late to the party. They're going to go immediately now. Cool little pullback from Klein. Now, again, look at that. Just pulling back the individual Huss so the muskets aren't getting too much done. It's still an okay engagement. He's by Mitoe. We've got some Minutemen from Kaiserklein that are going to try and focus down those muskets, so you can see them working on the muskets there, not on the Hussars. Kaiserklein's Hussars are going to ensure that Mitoe's not going to escape here. So, yeah, very good micro there.
So Mitoe left with 0 units on the field, does ship the coin, so he's going to be able to age up, but is Kaiser going to be able to hurt Mitoe as he tries to age?
Oh, this is the problem when you're in a French mirror. I keep getting can't work out like whose resources
I'll take
we're
off Fog of
constantly
War.
looking at because the
So Mitoe
flag's the
going
same.
up, he has a card in queue, so he's
This-
probably
thi-
aging fast, yeah. Exiled Prince. Kaiser has the coin he needs, just going to be a little bit behind, eating those sheep to make sure it can go up nice and quickly.
Yep,
Cancels
good
the
use
bill.
of the sheep there.
He knows that aging up fast is more important than about half of a villager. He too has a card.
Yeah, and again, the native scout coming in super handy, right? Because you could just see there's not like 10 muskets just being rallied across, so you know perfectly. Oh, who's right? So someone's still trading muskets though, so they're probably going to go for this early falconets and see if they can
Looks
get
like
some
he
damage
canceled
done
them
with that.
just in case he wants to have those muskets in queue. No commitment there.
Ah, safety muskets. Always good to have safety units.
Perfectly even on the villager count. Very, very even game so far. Mitoe up first, Kaiser score a tiny bit higher. Oh, he does lose a bill though.
Yep, good little pick off there. Does anyone try for the 1k wood? No, it doesn't look like it. Both going for the traditional 8 scabs.
Prioritizing the dragoons, interesting.
Yeah, not the biggest batch of skirmishes there. Not that he could have had any more. He was kind of out of coin. Had a lot on wood. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of turned into quite an even game, despite that rather unique start. Well, not unique start, but both of them going for quite different things. As you say, it's now evened out. And I guess it's just going to turn into a traditional skirm goon war, isn't
Expect
it?
so. Usually you see these players switch to the Cuirassier very late into that H3 fighting. They know that early on it's just not enough mass to really be able to do anything with it, so they're going with the Goon Skirm. Kaiser far more skirm heavy than Mitoe. Just has a few.
Yeah, I'm just going to bet on the player with the more skirmishes, to be honest. So it appears at this moment to be Kaiserklein.
I wonder why Mitoe went more goon heavy. Is he hoping maybe to pick off falconets? I'm not sure he's expecting those this early though.
Yeah, and we sort of see this in French mirrors over the last few years. The two falcons are just kind of delayed a lot more players valuing that mobility, which makes sense. So yeah, Scam Goon, come on, Scams, get some shots in.
Picking up that late scout treasure could be quite useful, honestly. We'll lose a CDB here.
So actually, this coin mine's a big deal. Yeah, if Kaiser can force Mitoe off this coin mine, Mitoe's actually only got 5 on coin at the moment, so he really does need to be able to secure this this coin mine, which it looks like he's going to be able to do for the moment. But now that Kaiser recognizes that maybe that's one of Mitoe's key gathering points, he's actually going to stick to that location to put on a lot of pressure. It could actually be a good time then to maybe ship the Falcons next and then use that to try and push on that coin mine, as that is a bit of an awkward coin mine for Mitoe. I guess, I mean, Kaiser's sort of got the same issue with his coin mine next to his stable. It's just whoever is the slightly larger army and wants to be more aggressive can start forcing the other person.
I love how these players are distributing their bills across multiple gold mines just to make sure that he's minimizing that walk time for villagers. Rather than walk all of them over here, all of them over here, all of them over here, you split up your bills and they don't have to walk through that process. So let's see what Mitoe's going to do with this native scout.
Okay, so
where has he stuck it?
He's
there, right in the middle of the map.
We've got a cuirassier switch instead of the falconets. The thing is, with cuirassiers, you need that critical mass. Oh, well, if they're both doing it, then it's fine. But yeah, you need that critical mass. So anytime you switch to cures, you need to ship the 3 cures and also like train 5. Otherwise, yeah, if you have less than 8, they barely even make it to get a hit off. So you really do need quite a few cures to make the transition worth it. But yeah, if both players are doing it, then
It doesn't get him.
then I guess it doesn't make too much
Doesn't get
difference.
out the. He could have gotten 4 there, but just gets the 2. He was housed. Kaiser gets 3, so 1 more for him.
Okay. Oh, Mitoe he was leading with some goons. One gets picked up, so he's going to go in with the cures. Is there enough goons from Kaiserklein to efficiently defend
there
this?
are. He does a great job picking them off. I really like that micro there, right? He is kind of losing his cures as well, but gets some good splashes on them. I like this fight for Kaiser.
Ooh, Mitoe's goons are at the front. Yeah, Mitoe needs to get his goons. Look at that, they're just being all picked off there. Yeah, and perhaps even the last one could.
Actually, no more crews for Kaiser, so it looks like Mitoe is going to get away with losing those goons thus far, and it is making some more crews himself. Skirm count is 26 to 31,
yeah,
still favoring Kaiser. Looks like both players have the equal tech on it as well.
Yeah. I would suggest Kaiser actually picked up a bit of a lead from that engagement. Though I think Mitoe's goons getting stuck at the front. He probably lost 4 or 5 more of them than he needed to, and I think that's sort of the small 1k score difference that we're seeing there. Those 5 goons that probably didn't need to get picked off. Kaiserklein was quick to react to that and kind of boxed his skirms onto those goons. But then again, yeah, we'll see if Kaiser reacts to this sort of movement by Mitoe, because he's got a lot of his eco here, so he does need to defend that.
Mitoe sees the goons with his scout, so he is aware that these crews are vulnerable. I think that we really see that goon difference in the cannons coming in for Kaiser, while Mitoe has to ship more goons himself. Ooh, big raid though. Picks up 1, 2, probably 3 or 4 in the end. Yeah, just trying to save his curs.
That's quite. Yeah, it's a juicy little raid there. And yeah, he doesn't really lose anything for that either. Maybe just took 1 or 2 shots on that. Otherwise,
the villager count is 36 for Mitoe, 36 for Kaiser, dead even. Love to see it.
What, in a French mirror? Oh god.
Still though, we do see that army advantage for Kaiser. Score reflecting it. Just a few more units in the field. Let's see if he ever scouts this position.
Well, now he's got the 2 Falcons out. I assume he'll want to do something with them before Mitoe gets his own 2 Falcons out. Having said that, though, of course he moves backwards. So perhaps he just wants to play it safe and basically not take another raid and lose another
both
4
players,
villagers.
They see that the game is reasonably even. They're cautious to attack the opponent, knowing that defender's advantage could swing the game against them. So both players are playing it kind of defensively, which is understandable, but as we see these resources start to get deplenished, we will definitely see a fight be forced.
Yeah, and looks like Mitoe's shipping his own 2 Falcons, so Kaiserklein's never actually going to have a window or an engagement where he's up 2 Falcons to Mitoe not having any. In which case it's going to come down to that awkward.
So we see the scout just seeing everything here.
Out here on the right.
So what's Mitoe going to do about the cannons? Is he going to try and loop around and take them out?
He's going to go raid it. Yeah, you could go for the cannons, but I think this is just a raid.
What excellent placement! Just seeing absolutely everything Kaiser's doing. Is housed though. Oh, He sees the cannons.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh no. Well, yeah.
That is going to be very
Amazing.
tilting for Kaiser. Oh no, just for free. Oh my gosh, a full shipment in exchange for about 2 Dragoons.
I thought you were protecting our viewers then when you like glanced away. You didn't want to show
Oh,
the
and a
going down,
huge raid coming in. Oh boy.
Yeah, and Kaiserklein's a little off from defending that. He is going to get there, but I mean, how many villas are going to go down? Not that many so far, to be fair. They kind of split up, so the area damage on the cures isn't being super useful. But I mean, he's still got 3, maybe 4
think more than that.
Them.
I mean, he has a
Possibly
6
another
vill
one
lead
gonna go
now.
down.
He's
going to
36 to or 35 to 41. So yeah, 6 CDB lead. That's a very significant amount. So at this point, I'm sure Mitoe's thinking, okay, I just need to keep my army alive and live off of this economic advantage I have. Oh, both players in the same gold mine. Love it. You see both armies walking in that direction.
Yeah, but I mean, so Mitoe still got his 2 Falcons. Kaiser doesn't have his 2 Falcons, so I'm just assuming Mitoe wins every fight from this point, unless his 2 Falcons get caught out. The coin mine actually finishes.
So players peacefully negotiate that gold mine. So let's see, what does Mitoe have left for gold? He still has about 1,000 coin. Kaiser, in the meanwhile, has 1,000 here, 1,000 here. So if Kaiser can keep a hold of these mines, even though he's at the down villagers, he can potentially be at an advantage on his economic output.
Wow, Kaiserklein was even taking blunderbuss there. He's expecting this to get really scrappy and just end up fighting over one of these coin mines and needing the CDBs, so just preemptively tacking that in. But Mitoe doesn't seem to be pushing that area. I'm just going to go for this stable and house, which is sort of free game here since he's got the Falcons.
Kaiser going in for the kill.
Alright, so here's the big right click. I guess when you have this many units, it's actually not too bad to kill the Falcons, because they do just die in a couple of right clicks. He's got huge scum masses.
This is more than 50.
He's got 2 control groups.
Mitoe down to just 24, so that fight went extremely well for Kaiser. Mitoe really needed to even that skirm mass with those falconets, but he knows that he did manage to take out a few goons that sacrificed themselves for those cannons. Unfortunately, though, he is dropping a lot of his skirms. Okay, here he goes. He's going to try and take down the goons with the goons.
He needs to get back into these trees.
The goons with the skirms, and he just hopes that these curs can do the damage that they need to. But the excellent tree micro by Kaiser.
So did you say tree micro?
That is what I said.
Very good. I mean, yeah, these queues are just not getting
what are they doing?
The best sort of angle, because they're being. In fact, he's pulling them back by staying with the goons. Oh no, he needs to bring those back in, and then Kaiser brings his own goons in at the same time. These skirms just scrape by the coin mines. They do kind of get out of a bit of a sticky situation. I think Kaiser just has he's just got more stuff at the end of this, right? He's just got
really no reinforcements from either player. So we see 27 skirms for Kaiser, 17 for Mitoe, so advantage of 10. Goons are 17 to just 4, so big army advantage for Kaiser. Meanwhile, in the battle for gold mines, really minimal gold mine use by both players. We see about 6 vills and gold mines in total. Where's Kaiser mining?
He's not. He's got no villagers on coin. I guess he could drop a plantation. He's got the wood for it. They only cost 600 wood now. But I think they're just focused on this, just the constant engagement. He might just go with the goons, just because he's got so many of them that you can actually just use them to kill the scams here. And I mean, if he gets them all, like Mito's probably never going to be able to remass from this point. Oh wow, okay, even
Mitoe just
quicker than I
sees he
thought.
cannot cannot win another fight. Just not enough army. He does still have probably a pretty sizable. No, Kaiser evened it up. Was there a raid there something that I missed? The Vil count's very even now.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. We'll just assume we missed something very important there. I think that's
Well, we can
that's
find out. Thing. Oh, I guess Mitoe just not building the villagers. Well, Kaiser is, so. Yeah, I'm not really sure what use he could have got from those villagers without any gold mines, but.
Yeah, exactly. There's always that point when the natural resources just run out where you do question whether it's worth adding the odd extra villager or not, and just elected against it there. But yeah, that was overall quite solid from Kaiserklein, considering that he lost his two Falcons, took a raid, somehow managed to come out on top.
Very
after
back
both
and forth game. I love to see that. I really had no idea who was going to win that until the resign button was hit. To be perfectly honest.
So that evens it up then. So this is going to go to the final game to see who wins the series. And I mean, both these players do need the wins. I'm in a tiebreaker scenario. Like, I think the number of map wins does count.
Yeah, I believe
could
that.
Be wrong on that. Even
so if it's a three-way split, if between Kaiser, Samwise, and Mitoe, if they all beat exactly one of each other, then it will go down to the game count. And so the fact that this is game 5 is kind of bad for both players in a way. It means that most likely they're going to have to win out and win their next match. And if you lose this one, you just have to hope that you go 3-0 in the other match.
Yeah.
Okay. We have game number 5, the final showdown on... Is this map still called Deccan? Okay, so we have Lakota. I always love to see Lakota against France.
I'm interested to see that it's Kaiserklein picking Lakota. I think this is kind of sort of a meta pick. We've seen a lot of top players maybe complaining or suggesting that Lakota are S tier at the moment. And I don't know how much experience Kaiserklein has with Lakota. I will say they're probably not the hardest civ to play, so maybe you don't need the most experience. But it's certainly more of a left field pick for Kaiserklein. Certainly doesn't pick this in many of his series anyway. But I think just because of the fact that they're considered a very strong civ these days, being able to ship 4 and 5 vil, so they have a really nice economy as well as a ridiculously strong cavalry units, has just led him to
I know Keister, one of our top Lakota players, favors the War Hut H2 aggression against France. And then from there, the goal is usually to do your damage, go to H3, and rely on the Dog Soldier Big Button with Cav Combat, and attack dance to win a large fight and snowball that into a victory. It's very, very difficult for any civilization to challenge that timing, and so it really comes down to Mitoe to make sure the game does not get to that point, which can be difficult when you have the fastest cav in the game running around the map challenging the villagers.
That was nice. He just steals the XP, knows he can't get the treasure, but 15 XP, thank you very much. Which won't matter because he's just got his ship on the way now. So there we go. But yeah, it's Lakota game's always weird because, as you sort of said, it just kind of comes down to one oftentimes one big engagement. But if Lakota does opt to go H2, then you can see a few more skirmishes before you get that big engagement. Mitoe losing a lot of hit points here, but it's something he has to commit to. So who's got the fastest?
I think
kick?
Mitoe got it.
I reckon Lakota's got that. You reckon? Oh yeah, no, you called it. I've heard some people say that the Lakota Explorer can like pick up treasures faster.
So on the old legacy version of the game, for whatever reason, if you shift click with the Lakota Explorer right next to a treasure, it's very difficult to contest it. It's like faster than any other shift click. But
is that the
DE,
okay. I wondered if
on
there was some
DE
sort
you
of
do
truth
not get that
it.
benefit. So consider it a slight Lakota nerf.
Because like I wouldn't dare risk shift clicking a treasure on DE. Like it's just not gonna work half the time. So yeah, you can't risk it.
So both players see this. They might pick it up to challenge a TP again, like Kaiser did in game 1.
Yeah, the interesting dynamic here is that they both went for the top TP, and I can imagine both civs potentially trying to want to go for some sort of stagecoach, but it makes it really awkward that they both took the top trading post. So we'll have to see. Maybe they'll send 5 pikes or 5 clubs up there to try and siege that and take that, since it's the safest line.
And we do see this early war hut from Kaiser. An expletive from Mitoe. I'm not quite sure what he's upset about. Maybe a treasure. He does scout this, though. Unfortunately, he is going to lose the scout, which is... While it is a big deal, wherever the Lakota army goes, so goes its explorer, so sometimes it's tough to really keep that alive.
Yeah, so are we able to see what Kaiser's shipping first? So he's actually going for the 4 axe riders. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
so
no clubs in his deck, interestingly. That 7 club shipment can be pretty useful to tank TC fire in cover mode and force an engagement by taking down buildings. That can also build TPs themselves. So usually good to have that shipment in an aggressive deck, but he's going with a more standard 4 axe riders. Certainly the best economic H2 shipment as far as value of units that Lakota
have. Right. And yeah, I guess there's nothing that Mitoe can pop out to contest these right away. So yeah, has to idle pretty much every villager. I think well, he's got a few out there gathering
Look
on
at
the
this.
wood that are kind of safe.
0 HP Chatang bows. But he's more than happy to be shooting at the Chatang bows with his TC. He knows that's a pretty good deal. The only issue is walking these villagers around won't give him anything.
Yeah, really early blunderbuss as well. So he's expecting this aggression to keep up and wants to be able to have the option to shoot them. But yeah, he's really valuing that.
Doesn't really lose any resources doing that. Just gets a free kill on a Chatang bow. I love it. Oh, using the yak to block. I love it.
Wow.
So many little details. Is pretty low on hunts, though, so that's going to be an issue. You see him already on berries. He's going to need to find a way to get out enough units to secure these elephants at the very least.
Yeah, he does need to somehow herd that in, and Kaiserklein's going to make that really hard to do. I like the fact that he shipped the 5 vills to his 4 war hut, just enables him to kind of gather from a new hunt, so less walking time overall. But
shoot it!
Yeah,
nice. I mean, I love to see this. Just really getting a kill almost every time he shoots with the CDB. It's so effective, actually.
I guess his fear is like, okay, so you're stopping me making any army, so I'll just tech blunderbuss and just have my villagers be my army. I mean, it works.
Kaiser is going to see this hunt being used. I wonder what he's waiting for. I guess he's going for the age up already. I'm not sure this is the best position for Lakota. If he just goes with the age up here, France will probably be able to age without too much damage being done, but we do see 8 crossbows. Mitoe doesn't know he's doing this, so maybe it will work out for him. Yeah, this can be tough.
Yeah, and the awkward thing for France here is there's no way of knowing unless you push that forward base, and
I think
you
he
can't
will,
risk
though.
pushing that forward base in case Lakota isn't aging because they'll just completely stomp you. So, I mean, I guess you could sacrifice a musketeer. It feels quite risky. I mean,
Yeah.
perhaps you can sense it here, right? Maybe like Kaiserklein's obviously trying to, you know, get in Mitoe's face, be like, oh, hey, keep making units. Like, I'm still here, you know, keep making units, please. But the thing is, you have to be careful with this bluff because Mitoe, you know, he's a good player. He can sense it. He might go, well, hang on. There probably should be maybe 5 more Setons, maybe even some Cav there. So perhaps that might actually backfire, and that might actually kind of give Mitoe the clue that actually Kaiserklein is aging there, just because Kaiser revealed,
aging with the Bison too.
his
So
army.
this is definitely a window for Mitoe. If he knows that Kaiser's likely clicking that age up, then he'll be able to really capitalize on this. The advantage for Lakota, though,
and
is Lakota can just
going.
drop about 5 TPs here, 4 TPs, and it's really undesirable to walk in there as Mitoe.
Wow, I mean the thing is though, he's got 3 Huss. Kaiser just doesn't have much, and with this slow age, I don't think even with TPs that he can hold this. I mean, presumably he's training. Maybe he's going to try and train a few Setons, but he doesn't even have those in queue. Oof! So I think he gambled that hopefully Mitoe was going to age as well. That's turned out not to be the case. So yeah, he immediately knows that he can't defend this. Just completely gives up the position, moves all his villagers back, and yeah, just kind of accepts that this is going to go down. So. And yeah, he's going to try and buy some time with the raid up top. The question is, does Mitoe go all in on this? Does he keep training dual muskets, or is he
honestly killing the war hut is a very big advantage? I think he will probably attempt to do a little bit more damage, especially just scout out what Kaiser's doing since he hasn't aged yet. Mitoe probably knows he's aging with the Bison.
Yeah,
Kaiser did this, of course, because he had no shipment, and so he wanted to wait till he has a shipment, so he might as well get the Bison and the gather raid on hunts.
Oh, he's got those two smugglers working for him, but yeah,
he's going to take down the stable. I mean, this is a disaster for Kaiser. He's not going to have any unit production whatsoever. He's going to have to sneak some bills and build a military building, but he has no wood. I don't see how Kaiser can win this anymore. Let's see what he ships. Yeah, the rifle riders.
I mean, I guess he has to ship the rifles, but I think Mitoe's got enough bows that he can probably even one-shot those rifle riders.
You can't afford to lose your military buildings as Lakota. It's a disaster.
Yeah. If the only way maybe Kaiser could hold is if he can somehow build like two teepees, so he's got enough wood for them. If he can build 2 like teepees and maybe take the fight there, maybe pop some vills out front to soak.
Does Kaiser have the vill upgrade? I didn't see. He does not. Can't afford it. I guess he could sell wood, but he wants to build those teepees. I just don't see how he can win this, honestly. There's the rifles. This is his one chance.
I guess the A3. The Explorer is going to be really tanky, so if he can get that Explorer kind of up front, and he's got the rifles way at the back.
Build
so
TPs.
Those I'm only just getting onto them now. Ooh, careful with the rifles!
I'd like to see a couple vills drop TPs here, but I guess he's more focused on just getting every bit of value out of his units. He's really doing a great job, honestly, of killing the muskets and making good use of this. Still 1 rifle rider alive, so really fantastic micro by Kaiser. Very impressed.
Yeah, he actually holds it. Mitoe also did an okay job. He made sure to actually focus the bows files on the rifle riders. That's really important. Otherwise, the rifles clean up everything. But yeah, no, he does hold it. Of course. Well, I guess now he's got Bisons right in his base. Doesn't need to go out for hunts. He's got a hunting bonus, so you know his eco's okay. He probably lost one or two vills that he didn't have to there. So I think Mitoe's still going to be pretty happy with his position, but Kaiser's not out of it yet. I mean, his main issue is you need to be able to. He needs wood to get a war hut because you need to be able to develop a composition. You can't just go pure cavalry, even as Lakota, and that's just super awkward to get. I mean, that's what he's doing at the moment, I guess, just because he doesn't have the eco. Oh, he's actually buying wood. I think he bought 100
I
wood
almost
there.
feel that
so yeah,
he should have risked shipping the 1,000 wood or something. Probably wouldn't have gotten away with it. I'm revealing my ignorance, but he just doesn't have military buildings. He needs really 2 war huts here. He wants them to take map control. He'd love to have 2 war huts right here still, but it's still a tough position. I mean, Mitoe's going to be making a lot of dragoons and skirms once he ages, and I mean, really, he has nothing to deal with dragoons except just a few Chitambos. No barracks still. Is going to be able to ship 9 Wakina, but those are no match for the French skirm mass.
Yeah, it was a nice little raid though. He got like 3 CDBs actually, which is I think is what he needed because Mitoe's eco was definitely better even with these bisons. But
that was very necessary. I think that's why he did ship those dogs. He knew that he needed to take a little bit of that advantage back, and he thought that was his chance. Mitoe on berries still interesting. Really has not herded these elephants yet. Bit of an ugly game, but love the gates.
Yeah, going for the hand cap, which can be quite nice against Lakota because sometimes Lakota won't add in the bow riders early enough. Just because it's awkward to do, because when you add in bow riders, you want to add in veteran bow riders, and it just means you need the extra 200 wood, and then like your stable's idle for a bit because it's training the veteran upgrades, and so quite often you see Lakota players won't have that much anti-cav early on in age 3, and so you can capitalize on that by obviously making hand cav of your own and trying to get a favorable engagement with that. So I think that's kind of the composition or what Mitoe is trying to catch Kaiserklein. Trying to catch him out, not having much anti-cav, just because it's awkward to add those bow riders.
Lakota really doesn't have the wood to spare for the veteran bow rider tech, whereas rifle riders are kind of expensive to make when goons counter them as well. So the way you play Lakota very generally is you run your whole army around the map. In this situation, you never take engagements, and you just try and keep your opponent off of resources and kill as many villagers as you can. Kaiser basically never has to engage if he doesn't want to. The only way to force an engagement is really for Mitoe to put his whole immobile army on top of Kaiser's villagers, which is extremely risky. Ooh, big raid too.
Oh, wow. That's huge. 5 CDB. Now, can Mitoe capitalize on this? Probably not, because Lakota's army moves at the speed of light. So he's actually going for the counter raid. But Kaiserklein does see that in time. Quick reactions. I think all those vills are going to quickly get to the TC. But Mitoe might just run past behind it. And then if he does that, which he is doing, he's going to see them. He sees them. Oh, no. What do you do as Kaiser? Do you send them back to the TC, or do you commit
You're
to
kind
the
of screwed, to be honest. I mean, Mitoe's army can beat Kaiser's, and Kaiser's completely out of position.
So yeah, he's committing to running them, which I guess is fine. Once you've made that decision, you've made it.
Wow.
But yeah, can he defend? Does he even have the army? The thing is, okay, so the cav is fast, but the Wikinas don't have the speed bonus of the Explorer. So the Wikinas are just taking so long to get into position. So he's going to try and buy some time, pick up some skirms, which is kind of going
this is excellent.
The Goons are getting some shots off. So
no skirms anymore for Mitoe.
Yeah, no, actually, that was quite
good. The issue here is that Kaiser has no villagers at all. He has 19 villagers, soon to be fewer. Mitoe, meanwhile, has 26 with steel traps, with all this stuff. Yeah, at this point, Mitoe just needs to not lose the game, and he's going to win the game.
Yep. Very well said. Yeah, Kaiser, he's just going to try and engage on this.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is it.
But his composition doesn't... Yeah, the thing is, his composition just loses. Oh, and yeah, he just calls it there. So wow, just
honestly, had he just moved his villagers to his town center, it might have been the other outcome.
that's just one of those gambles you take in the heat of the moment, isn't it? Where you're like, okay, if they get out, then you made sort of the right decision. Because if you send them to the TC, Mito spots them for sure, and he picks up like 2 vills, and you're like, no, that kind of sucks. If you move them away, they either all get away or you lose them all,
Do you think
which is what
Mito
happened.
clicked on the town center and
And
saw that it did not have the full garrison? He'd already known that Kaiser aged up with the bison based on the age time. So maybe he knew full well that Kaiser was hiding his villagers back there.
Right, possibly, yeah. And well, I guess you can just know that there's possibly vills there anyway. And I think, I mean, he knew Kaiser's whole army was at the top, so he didn't need to guess. I guess he could always just go to the back and find out. And yeah, and that's what he did. Wow. Okay, so big win there for Mito. That sets up Mito versus Samwise tomorrow quite nicely, doesn't it? Because basically the winner of Mito versus Samwise is going to be the person who
Yeah,
advances from that
that
group.
match is going to be everything for who gets out of that group. And I believe so. Did Kaiser already lose to Samwise? He did, right? So this is going to just so he's eliminated, I believe, at this
Yes.
point. The number 1 ELO player on the ladder, Kaiser, very, very good player. Out of the tournament, unfortunately. He played some really great games. I'll be sad to see him no longer competing in this one, but I'm sure he's going to come back with a vengeance next time.